time for the ride home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
Oh, hello. Check, check. There we go. Hello again, everybody. Welcome. It is the Patrick Johnson Show, 94.3 The Game and the IBX Media app. Huge weekend in Greenville with all of the various activities and games. And we've got a great in-studio guest. He is the one and only Blake Harrell, head coach of the Pirates. Coach, great to see you.
Yeah, great to see you, Patrick.
Awesome to have you here.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on.
Thank you for coming in and doing this. Really appreciate
it's
it.
a lot better than sitting in my office and being on the phone with you. I get to see you in person, hang out, and sit in these nice, comfortable chairs.
There you go. Yeah, those the great Henry chairs, right? When I grow up, I want to be Henry.
All of us.
We all do, don't we? Yeah.
Maybe more so Hank for me.
Yeah, Hank's got it pretty good, doesn't he? He really does. It's great to have you in here. We've got spring ball, and you got some another week of some kind of things you'll be doing. We can talk about that, but the spring game. I was talking to some of your other coaches at an event on Friday, and just kind of shooting the bull with them and catching up and just talking generally. How much longer do you think we're going to have spring games? Do you think?
It's interesting. We just had this conversation in our staff meeting today. You no longer can add players at the end of spring. There's only one portal window now, and that's in January. So you've got to be really careful and really strategic about how you practice and how you do things, because you don't want to lose somebody late spring that you may not have available for the fall. So we even spoke this morning just about, should we move spring ball up? Should we, maybe have spring game halfway through spring practice? Should we have 3 live scrimmages and then the spring game just be all thud and stay up? So a lot of different things we discussed this morning. I don't think we came to a conclusion on any of it, but it was just some good talking points and some good, and who knows? NCAA seems to change the calendar and change rules every year. So,
and I guess that's really more kind of what I'm asking. I mean, how much longer will it be within the NCAA calendar?
One of the new proposals is that you'll get 21 opportunities between spring and summer. And maybe you divide those up however you want to. For my thought of it was you'd use 12 opportunities in the spring for your football team to go out and practice, and then save 9 opportunities for June for OTA style workouts and practices with some pads on.
Right.
And then July back off a little bit before you hit true camp in August.
That makes, instead of just going straight OTA, that makes kind of
it
makes
does.
sense.
And I think there's a couple of new proposals out there. That's one side of it. On the other side of the camp process, right now it's, I think, 31 days to give 25 practices. And they're talking about cutting that down to 24 or 25 days for 21 practices.
Okay.
So cutting that down a little bit. But I think for that to happen, you would have to have more opportunities in the summer to practice and do a few things. And, as you look at all those, you're kind of getting closer and closer to an NFL model.
Yeah.
I think we still got to stay to the collegiate model. And we got to still develop young men and develop student athletes and keep the student piece into it. But you are kind of shifting to that a bit.
It's a positive thing, I have to imagine, for your peace of mind that you don't have a portal window opening today.
No doubt. So a year ago,
right.
You're finishing up spring practice. Actually, last year I think we finished on April 26th.
Yeah. We
went a week longer. We actually practiced into the portal window, trying to occupy their minds and keep them busy. But a year ago, you were kind of having some conversation with some guys and making sure they were in place and trying to sweeten some things up a little bit, as well as the other piece of it that you couldn't do, you can't do now that you could do then is, hey, we might need a little bit more depth at this position or that position. Now, like we had 2 young men visiting this weekend, old linemen who are already in the portal, that, hey, if we have an opportunity, we may add them to our roster, just to add a little bit more depth at that position. But a young man has to already be in the portal since January, and that January window to add to your roster now, or a high school prospect. So, but yes, last year this time, you're not sleeping until that portal window closes. And right now I feel pretty good that, hey, we just got to keep our foot on the gas, keep pushing our football team, but we know who's going to be on our football team.
If I'm thinking back to last year, Coach, it seemed like you guys were able to kind of benefit from that second window quite a bit.
I think we added a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
Joe Jean was one of them.
Yeah.
Started for us, I think, 10 or 12 games there and played really well down the stretch. Michael Wright was another one that we added. And I think we added about 15 guys in that second portal window that helped us down the stretch. Some of them just added depth in different facets of our football team. So they all contributed and helped us win games and helped us be successful. So it was good for us. But now you had to get all that done on the front end. You kind of know where your football team is. So there's no, hey, we can add this guy or add that guy. You know exactly where you're at. You got to go out and coach and develop.
Well, and does that – so that's kind of the – you're on the good side of that, by and large. There are places, and I would think with the way that the program's performed the last 2 years out of spring – there's the flip side of that.
No doubt. I think there's folks out there who lost guys as well.
Sure.
We were fortunate. We didn't lose anyone. And I think the NCAA's put some rules in place about a blind transfer. A blind transfer would be like the Retzloff kid who left BYU last year, went to Tulane. If that was to happen this summer, there's a penalty. I think the head coach six games. I think there's a financial penalty.
Yeah.
So the fact you could, early in the semester, early in the winter, a lot of people were worried about that, and I think that's helped make some head coaches sleep a little bit. There's a way to get around that rule. But, I think, a year ago you definitely were kind of on edge a little bit, and we didn't lose anybody, so we were on the good side of it, but I think that's certainly we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
Is the portal windows, is everything the best it could be yet? No, but is it better than it was a year ago?
Sure.
Certainly. So.
Blake Harrell's with us in studio today, and we're going to get into this roster. But I do want to ask you a little bit about when the portal opens now and the bowl game situation. And, has there been any discussion to remedy the postseason in any way?
All that's an ongoing process, and it seems like it changes every year and kind of just shifted around. There is some appetite to move some things up. I think right now the postseason play, the championship game, I think is January 24th or 25th, somewhere in there. A lot of folks want to move that thing up and get it early January. And the best possibly we can to put it all in one semester. They're just the proposals almost to the final stages of having a 14-week season, regardless of the calendar year. Like this coming season, we only have 13 weeks to play 12 games, so only one bye week.
Right.
In 27, they're looking at adding a week 0 that everybody can start week 0. And you don't have to have a special waiver. And if you choose to do that, then you could possibly have 2 bye weeks within the season, which I would be about. Just to, if you get some bumps and bruises, get a guy banged up, and you've got a bye week, you possibly got a chance to get him back. We certainly benefited from that this past season. Bryce Weaver is an example. So that would help with that piece of it. The other thing you're looking at is there's teams out there talking, or leagues out there talking about not doing conference championship games and possibly cutting those out. But at the end of the day, all those are driven by the TV market and TV games. I think I saw a stat yesterday, this weekend I was reading that the SEC championship game alone brings about $50 million.
Right.
So that's not $50 million.
Well, they're not going to
turn that down.
They're not going to do away with it in that conference for sure.
So there's different things they're going to look at and kind of play around with. But I think for the next year or so, we're pretty much set where we are with the transfer portal being early January, with the championship game running until late January, unfortunately. But kind of is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, it's good entertainment for college football. I think I heard Brent Key, talking about this earlier in the spring. Like, the viewership of college football is at an all-time high. The amount of money we're generating and revenue we're bringing in is at an all-time high. So all those things are good for football, good for college sports. And, we just got to kind of figure out exactly where the calendar is and do a better job and get in a better direction. I think we're going in the right direction, but not quite there yet.
We had John Gilbert on. I know he's on with Steven earlier today, but we had him on this show sometime earlier this year, maybe back around the time. It might have been early part of the calendar year. Anyway, one thing he talked about was it shouldn't impact this year, but he thinks it's starting in the 27 postseason, kind of the way we know bowl games may be changing a little bit. Could you speak to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's too many bowl games. We just added, last year we lost 3. I think Frisco picked up one of those, and we just added 2 more. I think one's in San Diego, and the other one's in Puerto Rico. I think it's Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So we just added those.
So those that went away didn't stay gone for
so we
long.
have 41 games. 82 teams going to have to qualify.
Right.
But I do think, and the bowl contracts were up. They've actually extended those for one more year.
Okay.
And that's really got to do around the college football playoffs.
Right.
And the CFP, does the CFP want to expand, or they want to stay at 12 teams? And I think that will expand eventually for the viewership and the money that's in there and some things. And everybody will have an argument for how many teams it should be, whether it's 16 or 20 or 24, whatever it may be. But that should cut back on the bowl games. I actually voted that you should have to have 7 wins instead of 6 wins to make a bowl game.
Yeah.
And I just think bowls need to be, instead of a 500 football team, here's an extra benefit for you. It should be like, rewarding, and really challenging to get there. And if we cut back the number of bowl games, I think that would be a piece of that. But again, I think it's going to revolve around the green dollar there too.
You talked about early in camp for spring ball that we need to aspire towards not just going to the military bowl and not just beating state or whoever, Pitt, but like the next. Do you feel like there was a response to that?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to go to the military bowl and be a part of that and take your.
But we don't want to go for a third year in a row.
Not third year in a row. But to be a part of, for our program to be involved in those games and to beat NC State and to beat Pitt, that's awesome. But in our locker room, we talk about 3 goals on our wall. The first one is to protect Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. Win all your home games, and I think we did a pretty decent job of that this year. We're 5-1, and you look forward to take it a step further and be 6-0 this coming fall. And then number 2 was win your bowl game, and obviously we've done that. But the third one up there is win a championship.
Yeah.
And our goal is to push to a conference championship. We're not going to hide from that. We're not going to not talk about it. I've been around programs where or coaches, they don't want to talk about it in case it gets to a point where we're out of it. And we're going to keep pushing for it.
Yeah.
And that's our goal every single day, and to keep striving for that. And I think we're pushing in the right direction. We're making some moves in that direction. But we obviously got a long ways to go. Even here in the off season, to keep our foot on the gas and with the urgency and intent and purpose to keep going that way.
So the big story from an offensive perspective is the quarterback position. You have 2 very capable QBs.
I can't understand why everybody wants to know about a quarterback. I mean, can we talk about offensive center or guard?
We're going to talk about it all. As time allows here, we're going to talk about it all. But, the quarterback's the spot, and there's a little bit of receiver U and QB U here at East Carolina, as you know.
And I think, what doesn't matter what level of football you're at high school, college, or, Saturday, Sunday, Friday nights, everybody wants to know who the quarterback is, and rightfully so. And if you don't have a quarterback, then you're in trouble. It's hard to win football games. We've been there and done that. And, I feel really good about our 2 young men that's competing for the job. And a lot of folks say if you got 2, you got none. But I feel like, both of these guys could be a guy moving forward, and we could win games with both of them. We're halfway through our off-season training.
Okay.
I'm not in a hurry to say, hey, you're the starter, you're the guy, or I think they need to keep competing. I think they need to see how much better they can get between now and September. And then sometime in August, we'll sit down and have a conversation, and maybe another guy, one of those guys, gets more reps with the ones than the other guy. Mm-hmm. But my guess is, like most positions, you're going to need probably both.
Yeah.
Mitch does a really good job, I think, improvising and doing some things with the legs. If he does that enough.
It seems like he's got a good command of what you're doing, too.
He understands the offensive commander out there, and I was with a very similar offense and terminology last year at Texas Tech. Mm-hmm. But if you're asking a quarterback scrambling around, those guys do get banged up. So you're obviously going to need Emory, and I think Emory's a big, tall guy that has a great arm and very cerebral and learning the offense. So I imagine we're going to need both of them at some point, sometime, to go win a football game and be successful. And I just want to see those guys can keep competing. And I feel really good about them as people, and I feel really good about them as leaders out there on the field.
So does anybody have an edge out of the spring?
I think it depends on what you're talking about.
Okay.
I think if it's going and winning a ball game and putting one guy out there or the next, I'd feel good about both of them that we can manage. What we're probably doing right now too, and talked to Coach Davis about this the other day, is everything is just a call to play. Mitch, you go run that play. Emory, you go run that play. If Emory was our starting quarterback, I think you tailor it just a little bit to Emory.
Sure, yeah.
If Mitch is the starting quarterback, you tailor it a little. So you're not really having a package for those guys or having an offense tailored around those guys. And I think we got to get to doing that more in the summer and more in fall camp to see, okay, if we went with Emory and we had this set of offense and this set of plays, which is still within line of what we do within the guardrails. How's Emory going to look versus how's Mitch going to look with his set of plays and how he's going to run the offense, and which of those can help us be successful and go win football games and go win a championship.
We got Coach Harrell in the studio with us here. Ray Joseph catches a pass in the action on Saturday, and he kind of maybe has the potential to be the big target guy for you. I mean, I know you have some other guys, but he seems like he has a great deal of potential to achieve that.
Fun fact for you, Ray's high school coach, Uncle Luke.
Is that right?
That's right. So Uncle Luke's coaching high school ball, or was coaching high school ball down in Miami.
Is Uncle Luke's number in Blake Harrell's phone?
I think it may be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would a Blake Harrell of 30 years ago even imagine that Uncle Luke's number would be in his phone?
That's not necessarily my vibe, but
well, we're of the same kind of vintage, so we. Yeah. I mean that you knew him. We knew him growing up.
Exactly who he is. And
that's crazy, isn't it?
And probably rode around and listened to it before, but back to Ray. I think our offense. The one thing I would say, that, like somebody asked me, the biggest difference in our offense last year and this year. I think this year the passing game is different as far as it's going to get the ball to the slots more.
Okay. Last
year I saw us get last couple of years the ball maybe more to the outside guys. If you think about Anthony Smith had 1,000 yards on the outside last year, if you look at across the country, the offenses that are more Jordan Davis based, it's more the slot. Their guy had a big year. The guy FAU had, I think he was first or second in the country in receptions. Mm-hmm. So I see guys like Brock Spalding and Ray Joseph really standing out at that slot position with all the option routes and the ways to get them the football.
Brock Spalding, there's a name, and obviously he's out of anybody who graduated or transferred, he stayed, and that's got to be a cool thing.
Brock is an awesome competitor. Like, he goes out, competes in games on the line, and just lays it all out there and plays the edge, plays the game the right way, and fired up that he stayed around here and wanted to be a part, and just he felt like, hey, my time in Greenville is not up, and I want to stay here and go win a championship, and fired up to see him. And we added another receiver out there while we're talking about receivers that reminds me a lot of Brock, the edge he plays with, and I think it's great to add him to the room is Landon Sides, the receiver from North Texas. Mm-hmm. He's has that same personality as Brock, a little bit quiet, but he's a gamer, plays with the edge. In practice, he might be in a scrap or two, which from receivers sometimes, they're not always play with that edge or play with that confidence, that swagger, that gamer. And both those guys, and Ray is included, all have that about them. And excited about that room. I think, we've had some guys, Anthony and several other guys that have been good players, but I think we're a little bit deeper in that room as a whole. We got to get Tyler Johnson's coming along. He got behind some DBs on Saturday, and is doing that a little bit this spring, showing that he's talented as all get out. We just got to get him to be consistent. And then, the other guy from Wake Forest, Jeremiah Melvin, is starting to show some flashes. He's a big, tall kid originally from Fayetteville, 6'3", 6'4", can run. He went up Saturday and caught a couple of jump balls, and that's exactly what we need him to be able to do is catch the deep ball and go up and get it and rebound it and be a presence there. Because you certainly look out there as from the other view of it, defense side of the ball, and Jeremiah's a guy you better pay attention to.
Running back wise, Ashton Gray punches one in for you. Then you got Michael Allen coming home as well. How do you feel that position is sitting right now out of the spring?
You mentioned Michael Allen and Bryce Weaver being here throwing up the 2.5 and 2.52, and Mr. Rhodes High School, Michael Allen. I feel really good about that room. I really do. I mean, you lose. a couple guys out of that room, Marlon Gunn,
Sure, yeah.
London Montgomery, a couple other guys. But I think we've reloaded in there, to be honest. Ashton Gray, I feel really good about. He's a 210-pound kid. I think he had about 175 yards in the bowl game against a very good San Diego State defense.
Yeah.
So I feel really good about him. He can run and do some things. Was a high school quarterback. He's from Arkansas. So if you see us kind of, toss the ball out to him, it might actually be for a pass, rather than just to run the football.
Right.
And it gives you an opportunity to do some Wildcat stuff with him as well.
Sure.
So T.J. Engelman's back. I thought T.J. got better and better.
That's
as the season
another
went
great
on.
name, yeah.
And it shows speed. And he's kind of coming to his own as well. Like, really, last year was his first snaps for us. And in high school, he played a lot of quarterback. So he's just kind of learning the position as well and works his tail off. Love him. You mentioned Michael Allen.
Well, he gives you somebody who's been there, too.
Yeah. And Michael Allen's a guy that's an older guy, bigger
played
body.
a lot of places, a lot of games.
And got experience. And just kind of Mr. Consistent throughout spring. Just kind of, you look at him and, okay, he's not quite as rocked up or as fast as the other, and he just makes plays. Play after play after play, and just been really consistent throughout the spring. So he's kind of exceeded my expectations. And then the guy we didn't get to see much of this spring, we held him out, was DeJuan Lacey. I think, all four of those guys I feel really good about.
You need at least that many.
Yeah, and DeJuan was a guy, if you think about the Coastal Carolina game, was kind of almost pushing to be that number one guy. Was the back that had a little juice to him, saw it a little better, and just the energy he brings to our football team, I think is going to be a spark plug for us. And with all four of those guys, I feel good about that room. I feel good about them catching the ball out of the backfield, protecting in the pass game, and then they all see it very well too. I don't think we're I think last year early on especially we had some guys that were pretty athletic. They just didn't see it really well.
Yeah.
We got better at that as the season went on. But game 1, 2, 3, I didn't think we did a great job of that, and it got better 4 through 12. But I think starting out we'll be ahead there.
Up front, you talked about the possibility of adding some guys who are currently sitting in the portal, and then we've mentioned Bryce Weaver a couple times. Seems like he's got the ability to move around and play a couple different spots for you. He's inside right now.
I only mention Bryce because he just everywhere you go, there's Mr. Bryce Weaver. We call him Juicy now. I ran into somebody in town last fall and said his nickname from high school was Juicy.
Right.
And but you just hear his voice wherever you go, and he's kind of the center of attention. Or he tries to be, I guess.
Right.
But he's playing really well.
Yeah.
I had a good spring, and last year he was kind of the next man up. Started, played at tackle, played at guard, started a little bit, and had an injury he had to battle through a little bit last season, but came back and finished strong. But certainly has the athleticism, and just the way he's grown throughout the years, and just matured. I think is pretty special. And that O-line group, and had a couple dads say it to me this weekend, like, they are really enjoying each other as a group and growing on each other and love being here. And I think Carson Jones, who missed last season, is kind of the centerpiece of that for me.
Okay.
I remember Carson came to me last fall.
Yeah.
And said, "Hey, Coach, if you got somebody coming in recruiting, I want to host them because I want to be around guys that want to compete and they want to win championships. Football is important. Football matters to them, and they want to be a Pirate." And he's kind of took that head on and. Looking to he didn't go through spring. We kind of held him out as well just because of the injury. Want to make sure we kind of take our time. Don't rush him back. Don't push him back. But feel good about that group. I think we got about 7 guys I feel really good about. And then 8, 9, 10, we're still developing and pushing. I have to add a little bit more depth there. We're going to have 5 offensive linemen freshmen. So I don't really expect those guys to play. I'd like to keep those guys out of our too deep if possible.
Yeah.
But Brandon Best played center all spring, did a really good job. He's an all-conference guy from Kennesaw State. Was all-conference in Conference USA last year. Ethan Kramer's a big guard from Northern Arizona, originally from Colorado. Just a big frame kid that I think looks really good and does some good things in there. Excited about him and just the confidence he plays with. Handles himself like a pro. He's always in the training room early, taking care of his body. We talked about Bryce. Marlio's a guy that played with the ones a little bit this spring, and then Kendall Walton as well rotated in there. And then the other guy that I think's got a chance to maybe even play beyond ECU is Hayes Creel. He's big, 6'6", 6'7", right at 310 pounds. Played at Southern Miss. He's from Louisiana. And both him and Brandon, we actually beat Memphis in recruiting on both those guys. And sometimes when you beat somebody on recruiting, you feel like it's a win, but you don't really know till they get on the grass. And both those guys on the grass have been phenomenal. And excited to see that group grow. I think the O-line is probably the one position group that needs to play together, needs to kind of be around each other. And the more they're with each other and that cohesiveness on the same page, the better and better they'll get. We just got to figure out this summer which, we got the right people on the bus.
Yeah.
Now we got to get them in the right seat.
Right seats, yeah.
That's a Good to Great book and a little quote in there from there.
As we transition over to defense, you got two new coordinators, both Jordans. And when you look at, just how they've kind of come in and brought, their own touch to things, but also, have adapted to what you want to do and the culture here. How do you feel like that's gone?
I think anytime you have some change or turnover within your staff, as a leader, as a head football coach, it's about getting everybody on the same page and headed in the same direction. You got to do a really good job articulating and communicating your expectations, the standards, and make sure everybody understands that vision.
Sure.
It's easy to go out there and just say, this is who we want to be, but daily you got to reinforce that. And I think our coaches have done a great job of, jumping on board with that and pushing in the same direction and pushing the same message, and make sure, because and I've been a new coach going to new schools before, new programs before, and there's some anxiety there as a new coach, like what exactly are the expectations? What are the standards? What do I need to be doing? What should I? How does coach want me to kind of tweak what I'm doing and my personality to fit his personality? So there's some anxiety that you kind of go through there, and I've talked to new coaches about that before, but our coaches have done a really good job this spring of adjusting and really fitting who we are here at East Carolina.
I think it speaks volumes that the two that you brought in as coordinator were in the league, and within the league made the decision to.
That was the biggest thing to me. I thought, like, hey, we got a great opportunity to go play really well and some bright spots ahead of us. But if we find somebody to come into our program that doesn't know our league, doesn't know our conference, doesn't know how to recruit to this conference or the competition you're playing against, they're going to have a learning curve. And they may be great coaches, but there's always going to be a learning curve. I wanted to find coaches that knew our conference, knew exactly what we're up against, knew how special this place was, and how good we can be here, as well as what we're up against.
Let's talk the defensive side of the ball.
I thought last year just defense has never plays good enough for me. That, and I'm always picky over there, but. I think we led every category in defense and within the conference last year, scoring, defense, total defense.
You guys kind of, though, did a hard reset at one point, though, didn't you, in the spring? I mean, that was...
Yeah, we were a little bit different when we were in the spring last year, yeah. I think from spring to fall, we kind of reset some things and kind of maybe got back to some things we really kind of hung our hat on.
But you see the results.
But it was still like, hey, there's some new flavors to it as well.
Yeah.
And I say all those things about last year to say, like, I think in certain areas we can be better. We have the opportunity to be better. We have a chance. We got to keep pushing. We got to go play a game. And you got to be careful in spring ball. You don't get caught up with, the offense is winning or the defense is winning, because, if the defense is dominating the offense, it doesn't mean the defense is that good. It could be the offense is that bad, or vice versa.
Right, yeah.
So you got to be really careful to guard against that. You got to make sure that you as coaches and you as your staff and players do the same, and that we just keep pushing forward. And I think we've done a good job of heading that direction. Now we go see what we do the next 3 months. But I think, up front, the edge pieces, I'm really, really excited about. I think for the first time, like, we got 2 edge pieces, and not just 2 guys. I'm talking about 4 guys, both sides.
Right.
That I think can rush the passer and do some things. Josiah Robinson is probably where it starts for me. We were even looking at jersey numbers today. He might even get a single-digit jersey number.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe number 0. I don't know quite know yet. I don't want to put anybody in 0, but it does free up a few other jersey numbers to move some guys around. Yeah. And I said, hey, if there's one guy that's earned it around here, it's Josiah Robinson.
Right.
He started football in 2020, so it's going to be his 7th year of football.
Yeah.
He has a red shirt in there, a medical in there. COVID doesn't count.
Right.
And it's been battle tested and just been through some challenging times. He's up to 265 pounds. We held him out Saturday because he's an older guy. He doesn't need a whole lot of reps.
Right, yeah.
What's he going to prove to us? He already hasn't. But just the power he plays with and the strength he plays with, I think can get after some guys offensively. On the other side, Kendrick DeJour, who had the strip sack in the bowl game, he gets better and better every single day, and he's put on some weight. And I think his mindset has changed about how he approaches the game. He's approaching it more, maturely and attacking that thing with a more of a work mindset and more of a team mindset. And that length is hard to coach. I mean, he certainly has it. He certainly has speed and the motor he plays with. And both of them looked really, really good in the pass rush game. And then the two guys behind him to the field is Kieran Davis, who was really like the third-team guy last year because you played JD over there. Is really stepped in, and Kieran's really athletic. I think he had about 3 sacks in the Coastal game. So he's flashed at times, but he's been way more consistent of what he's done and the way he's handled his business, not only on the field but off the field. And I definitely think they go hand in hand. And he's certainly proven that he can be a guy that we can count on this fall. And on the other side is Mr. Consistent Julian Davis, an outside backer. Julian has always been that guy that's consistent for you, plays his tail off, played a lot of special teams, and now I think he's going to play a lot of defense for us and be really good. All those guys are physical, so excited about those edge guys. I think that's going to be a key piece of the defense this year.
How about just the rest of the guys, the front seven, if you will?
Yeah, interiorly, Preston Carr's back. Ryan Rosenborough is playing at a high level. Those two just need pushed, every day. So we got to create some competition within that room. I think Torrin Brazel is doing a really good job inside there. Miles Parker's doing a good job inside. Added some weight back on the defense side of the ball. Linebacker, we may be as a group as good as we've been.
Okay.
We got to go out and prove it. All
right.
this. Now,
Sure.
We can't just talk about it and say we want to do this. We got to go out and play. But DJ Johnson, I thought by the end of the year last year, he was probably, and hats off to Sam and Day for what they did. But I thought DJ was playing as good as any of them at the time. And he's kind of got a nose for the football, comes from a football family. Dad played for the Eagles for, I think, 4 years. Uncle played for the Chiefs for about 13 years. So it's kind of what he's done since he's been an infant. The Law brothers, Caden Cruz, Law, been impressive this year, adding those guys to the mix. Cruz is certainly plays like a starter in there. You got Jackson Barker back in that group. So certainly excited about the inside guys. KJ Merrill, who had the big interception in a bowl game, who always give him a hard time about, like, if you're really athletic, that would have been a pick 6. But he told me he was just wasting time. He was eating up some clock, so he wanted to go down early. But KJ's played it. He's gotten a lot better this spring.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of him. Like, I thought, like, between him and the guy we were bringing in, it would kind of be 1A, 1B, but he's clearly the number 1 right now. And Christian Peterson is the guy we brought in from Central Florida. Rico Zachary actually coached him in high school. His return kicks, return punts, super athletic, and you've seen flashes of that. We got to do a better job being disciplined with his eyes and those things. But he's certainly shown that we can count on him. And Josh Benton's another local guy from Jacksonville, and Alex Moy out there that will get some playing time as well. In the back end, Aiden Duncanson got a little banged up this spring, had a little surgery on his shoulder. We'll get him back this summer, so he's not going to miss any time. Aiden played a lot in the bowl game. When Marley went down early in the game, he played probably about 85% of that bowl game and did some good things and continues to push in the right direction. Will be an older guy. And then Zaire that we brought in from App State was kind of – Zaire Gamble was a guy that started for them, played a bunch of ball. And tell you what, as the spring went on, he became more vocal, more comfortable with the defense, and you could really see him feeling good about it. And then the boundary safety, got several guys there. Miles Pollard, Demarius Hines, DJ Spear. Miles just came in from Memphis. Demarius got hurt early in camp last year. Demarius Hines was going to be a starter. Either him and Teagan were going to start at boundary safety. The other one was going to start at nickel. And when Demarius went down and kind of put Teagan there at safety, but he was a guy that was playing really well. We've held him out in the spring just because coming back from that ACL. But talking about a guy that's locked in and a football guy back there, all 3 of those guys are football guys. Kamari McKinley's another guy in the back end as well. And then in the corner room, from a overall standpoint, I think we've upgraded that room and we're better. Ashton Levels is the guy that stands out. We got to make sure we take care of this grad class and make sure we get all the work turned in for that.
Yeah,
I'll sleep better when that gets done. But he's a guy out there that changes direction, can run, can cover down the field, transferred in here from FIU. He's a guy that J-Mac was really, really special about how he played the game and football savvy, and obviously we still see that on Sundays and the pick he had in the playoffs.
Right, yeah.
But Ashton probably moves better than him or Siobhan.
Oh, wow.
Change of direction and those things, which is, that's putting him pretty high company there.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I think the other guys are doing a really good job as well. Pop is over there. He's returning, but not quite there yet. And then, got a kid in from Minnesota, JB, started the spring game for us. Bowers out there is doing a really good job out there of playing. So we still got some who's going to be the other corner and step up and
right.
be the guy. But we've got some really good competition. Raymond Mosley's another good guy out there that's giving us some really good competition. So I think we got some guys that can do it. We got to keep pushing them in that direction. But overall, like that group has been a very enjoyable, fun group to be around. They go compete every day, and they enjoy playing football too.
I know you got to get back to campus, but just what's the game plan for the kind of rest of the semester into the summer?
Yeah. So this week we're kind of finishing up with some in the weight room stuff, a little bit of testing. We'll do a couple more OTA walkthrough style practices, and then next week we get finished up with the last couple of days of class, start exams, and I told the guys, I said, it's halftime, but as you finish up this second quarter, the most important piece is go finish in class.
Right, yeah.
Like you got to go take care of that business. They'll get a few weeks off here in May. Our coaches will be out recruiting. I think next week they're going to be out locally recruiting, hitting the 252 in the state of North Carolina. And then after that, we'll get a little bit further out and go see some guys live in their high school spring practice. That's our biggest piece. We've identified several guys that we want at each position. Mm-hmm. High school recruiting is still huge for us.
Yeah.
We'll probably take 25 or so guys in this class.
Yeah.
And, the big piece is go see them live. When the ball is down, can they play the game?
Yeah.
And want an opportunity to see them do that. And then we'll bring our guys back late May and get back to work in the weight room and get back to work on the field.
And then you got camps coming up.
Yeah, May 31st. I'm glad you brought that up, Patrick. May 31st, we're doing a mega camp where we're hoping to have about 1,000 kids on campus, and we'll bring coaches in from all over the country, from Elizabeth City to Chowan to Elon, Minnesota, Syracuse, App State, whoever it is. Bring those coaches here, and I think that just creates more opportunities for players in our area to be noticed, be seen, and opportunity to work out. And we obviously have our prospect camps as well in June. We have our youth camp, that we have as well. I think that's the second week of June after school gets out. We start that, and then we had the big 7-on-7 Beast of the East, June 20th. So those are great opportunities to get on campus, and for us. Yeah, it's a chance to evaluate, prospects, but also thinks about, we'll have 3,000 kids on campus this summer, 1,500 kids at our Beast of the East, 1,000 kids at our mega camp, and several hundred others.
That's a big deal.
But 3,000 kids that see our stadium, see our brand, see our university, and just, hey, maybe they've never been to East Carolina, and all of a sudden, hey, I really like this place, and maybe college football isn't for me, but maybe this is a place I want to go to school,
right, yeah.
Be a fan of the Pirates, and be a part of this community. And I think it's, what better representative sales job do we have than Dowdy Ficklen Stadium and what we've been able to do the last couple of years with our football program.
And soon, indoor facility, Isley Indoor Facility will open.
Man, those guys are out there. Hamel Builders, shout out to those guys. They're out there at 7 a.m. They're out there. You go home at 7 p.m. They're out there. Sundays they're out there working their tails off. And I think I get an opportunity maybe to walk through that thing later this week. I'm excited about it.
That's good.
I haven't been through it yet and not exactly sure the plans and where they're at and haven't got any updates there. But that's going to be a game changer. And I think for us, we're still going to make sure we practice tough, we practice hard and do those things. but I think it allows us an opportunity to practice smart too.
Yeah.
And maybe, sometimes in August training, you get 45 minutes into practice, and you can just look at those linemen or look at those guys, and they just get drained. They got nothing left to finish practice, and they just get sloppy, and it's not quality reps.
Right.
That indoor allows you to have quality for 2 hours or an hour and 45 minutes.
And fend off the weather.
And that's another big piece. And
by that we mean storms more than anything.
And there's just so many opportunities you can use that for.
Yeah.
And, events you can host in there,
Sure, yeah.
and different sports, not just football,
Yeah.
can use it as well. So I think anytime, whether it's the indoor, whether it's Dowdy, we can use those for different events. Like we were at Friday to voice our brand. I just
Sure, yeah.
read a book, brand. It had defenses marked out, and
Uh-huh.
it said brands win championships, and certainly we got to keep recreating our brand and growing it, and giving the perception out there that this place is really special, and that will create more fans, that will create more wins, and obviously with that will come more money.
There you go. That's the name of the game. All right. Great to see you. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks
really
for having me on,
appreciate it.
Patrick.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Great to have Blake Harrell with us here. We got to let him go, but we'll come back right after this and have more of the Patrick Johnson Show.
Guten Tag, this is meine Auto. Und this is meine key. And I only trust one place with meine key. Meine key car care. They are so transparent with e-inspection, which shows photos of the problem and the fix. Meine key is my
The
favorite
best
part of
burgers
America.
around.
And my second favorite part?
Everyone
the
loves
cowboys
a big,
and their
juicy, and
horses.
fresh burger.
Remember, I only trust
Tiebreakers
meine
in
key with
Greenville,
meine
plus
key.
the
The
all-new
one-stop shop for total
tiebreakers
car
in
care.
Winterville.
At
Two
participating
real
locations.
burgers,
Meine key
better
locations
than
are independently
anybody.
owned and operated.
So don't
Texas
just go to
Roadhouse
any
in Greenville is the
burger-themed
home of
restaurant
legendary
chain.
food and
It's
legendary
time
service.
to break
Start
the
your
chain
meal off with a
and eat
Cactus
local.
Blossom, fried pickles, or their famous rattlesnake
Tiebreakers.
bites.
Real
Then get ready for
burgers
the
at
main
its
event,
best.
including legendary
Everybody
fall-off-the-bone
loves
ribs,
burgers.
country fried
You know what the
chicken,
problem
or
is
one of
with
the
standard
Texas
belts?
Roadhouse hand-cut
Usually you have to
steaks.
choose between
Texas
too
side
tight
combos include chicken and
or the
ribs,
opposite,
sirloin and shrimp,
too
or
loose.
sirloin and ribs.
But with Anson
For
belt and
extra
buckle,
juicy
you don't
flavor,
have to
try the
choose.
bone-in
You got rid
ribeye.
of the holes
Texas
and instead
Roadhouse
have a
open
track
every night
system
for dinner
designed
and
for
lunch on weekends.
micro-adjustability.
Southwest
That way you
Greenville
can
Boulevard.
enjoy a perfect
Turn
fit
your car into
every
cash
time.
with an instant Kelly
Anson
Blue Book
belt and
offer from
buckle.
Barber
Find your
Hendrick
perfect
Honda
fit
in
today.
Greenville. Go online to barberhendrickhonda.com to value your trade, explore inventory, and apply for financing, all from the comfort of home. At Barber Hendrick Honda, we have great deals on
Healthwise
new
Pharmacy,
inventory and an
Mixes,
extensive
with all of
used
your
inventory
infusion,
that includes
retail,
all makes and
compounding,
models.
and medical
Schedule
equipment
service for your
needs.
vehicle
Locally owned and
online and take
operated by
advantage of our
pharmacist
monthly
Marcy
special.
Parker.
Barber
Healthwise
Hendrick
has
Honda,
grown to
a
be
proud
your
member of
most
the Eastern
trusted
North
provider
Carolina
for
community
infusion
at the point of
services.
Greenville
Currently
Boulevard
providing
and Memorial
in-home or
Drive.
on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia.
Your
Visit
roof has
Healthwise
seen
Pharmacy at
better
615B South
During a
Memorial
really hard
Drive, or
rain,
call
you get a leak.
252-295-0059
Call a roofing contractor, and
to
before
speak to
they
a
even
patient
look
service
at it, they say you
representative
need
to
a new
find the
roof.
option that best
Maybe
suits your
two, or
needs.
maybe it can be
In
repaired
this age of
and last for a few
globalization,
more
we've
years.
learned that bigger
Whichever
isn't
the
always
case,
better.
Langley
Ever tried to get
Contracting
phone
will
help
give you
from a
an
big
honest
corporation
assessment,
from a real
whether it's
person?
commercial or
Right.
residential.
That's
Langley
what's so nice
will
about
get the
Phelps
job
Chevrolet.
done.
After more
With
than
their
50
own
years
employees,
serving our
not a
community,
collection of
Phelps remains
subcontractors.
family-owned and
So you know they have much better
Mike,
control
Daryl,
over the
Wade,
quality
Wes,
of your roof.
Alan, and
That's
Clay
why you get a
deliver
25-year
hometown
warranty.
service and
So whether it's
integrity,
roofing
same as
or
always.
gutter
They
installation,
share your experience,
call
they
the
share your
professionals
values,
at
and they are
Langley
ready to help with
Contracting.
any motoring
Easy
need.
number to
Come
remember.
get you one.
252-214-ROOF.
This
That's
is about
214-ROOF.
your family,
Langley Contracting.
and the health of all who live in eastern North
214-ROOF.
Carolina.
That's Langley
This is about the
Contracting and
transformation
Roofing.
of a health system into something more powerful
252-214-ROOF.
and more human. About creating new ways to treat
Mark
disease
your
and
calendar.
keep you well.
Bailey's Big Sale
This
is
is about
back,
ECU
starting
health.
Thursday, April
Which is to
23rd.
say,
For limited
it's
time,
really
save
all
on
about
diamonds,
you.
fine jewelry, luxury
ECU
watches,
health.
engagement rings,
Minds,
wedding bands,
hearts,
and more during
purpose.
Bailey's Big Sale. Your chance to shop for extraordinary
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
$5,000. Same day cash. National Finance Company. Apply at any of the North Carolina locations or NBC.com.
You ever talk to yourself about where to eat today, and then you hear, yeah, 2 hot dogs, chips and a drink, $7.50 would be awesome. Maybe
To the fire station. Warren's Hot Dogs, serving the Pirate Nation since 1991. Go Pirates!
Jeff Stein here with Pirate Nation. Get ready, it's baseball season. Hot dogs, apple pies, and GMCs. That's right, the Sierra 25 on $1,000 in purchase allowance. We have over 10 to choose from. Covered top, 3-color wash and vacuum. We have 4 brands, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make you happy Christmas. Around the wood, with a lifetime power warranty.
Locally owned and operated affordable option for crawl space maintenance. Curtis James and his team at Pirate Crawl Space perform in-depth barriers, door replacement, and installation and debris removal. Pirate Crawl Space installs dehumidifiers, but also sump pumps. Pirate Crawl Space has the experience you need to fix your problem. Call Curtis at Pirate Crawl Space today. 252-916-9594.
Get ready, because Honda has approved the 2026 750 Hornet offering stall free starts in traffic and full power push. When you want to pick it up, a 2755cc parallel wind with arm stretching storage, Street Fighter style built to stand out. From daily commuting to weekend canyon run, it's smooth when you need it and exhilarating when you want it. It's the Ron Ayers Motorsports Memorial Drive. Experience the 2026 Honda CB 750 Hornet Eco. And always wear a helmet and eye protection. On motorcycles for under 16 years and older.
Same great team, fresh new name. Welcome to Paget Dental Partners, formerly Bowman, Paget and Associates. The same trusted doctors, friendly faces, and exceptional care you know and love. Though we asked Dr. Bowman, the foundation he and Dr. Paget built together over the last 20 years remains strong. This transition to Paget Dental Partners reflects a meaningful continuation of the practice they created, guided by the same philosophy, the same standards, and the same commitment to their patients. Paget Dental Partners of Greenville. Look forward to seeing you smile.
And now, the stunning conclusion. 5 minutes on 94.3 The Game.
All right. Thanks to Blake Harrell for being in there with us today. Held him a little longer than we had anticipated, but appreciate Coach's time as always. Billy Gruber, a.k.a. William Grover, is producing the show today. We don't have time for a top 5 at 5, William, but what a weekend it was. First of all, how are you, buddy? I wish we could see the boots you have on. These are amazing boots that you're wearing.
Yeah, I would strike a pose and try to show them, but I don't know if it's...
You might tip over.
Yeah, I might
for the
tip
vast video audience. Yeah, we don't want that.
It's just not worth knocking down this equipment.
So intern Ryan left. I guess he had enough. And so we've got had intern Ryan in today, and then Billy Gruber, who will be producing tomorrow also on the big show. When we have Jonathan Wagner from On 3 on with us, and we're going to be live again, do it live at 5 o'clock ahead of ECU baseball, which had 2 really good games Friday and Saturday, but came back and did not look as good yesterday. And that did do you have the cut still up?
Yes, I do.
The Cliff Godwin cut's relatively short, so why don't we play that one? This is part of what he said in the post game on radio yesterday.
We're going to continue to find the right guys to play, and we're going to figure out what right guys are going to give us the best chance to win consistently, and we're going to have tougher at-bats up and down the lineup.
Yeah, only 4 hits yesterday. He was more talking about the position guys there, the 9 guys in the lineup. Joe Webb getting an honorable mention, all-conference selection for the American Honor Roll. I say all-conference honor roll selection for the weekly honor. And then Julia Apostolakis, great performance against her old team, USF, as the Pirates took 2 or 3 from the first-place Bulls. And she was also an honor roll selectee for the conference this week. Boy, I tell you, if ECU softball could go back and somehow redo that UAB series where they were swept, it would be they'd be right in the thick of things right now. But they are playing well, and they had 2 walk-off wins against the top team in the conference this past weekend. Good haul for ECU basketball through the transfer portal. Kent State point guard Sion Medley, who averages 10.5 points and over 6 assists for the Golden Flashes last year. That was the single-season record. Charleston Southern guard, I met him Friday night, Bryson Blaine, who had a double-double against the Pirates last year in Greenville, averaged over 17 points and 7 rebounds for the Bucks last year, and a really good shooter from the D2 ranks in Jordan Buchanan, top shooter. They added as well. So those are some of the pickups this weekend. Canes will go back on the ice today or tonight. It's not Saturday, so it won't be a day like it always is for the Carolina's first game in the playoffs, but it will be Carolina looking to go up 2-0 over Ottawa. Billy Gruber's Hornets got blown out Friday in Orlando, bringing their postseason run to an end.
That was a very tragic performance there. And like I said to you earlier, I think that just comes down to the mental strength of the team. And the team was just, they were not strong. They came out of that big win thinking that they had this one after the Magic were coming off of a loss, and the tables and tides turned on them.
Great stuff with Blake Harrell today. You could go back and listen to it or rewatch it on the IBX Media app, which is free for download at Google Play in the App Store. We'll lead you into baseball coverage tomorrow as Dylan and Coach O will be on the road with the team covering them in Norfolk as they take on ODU. Oh, so we got a couple minutes. We're not getting out right now. I thought we had to get out at because we only had one break we've taken.
Yeah, I was ill-informed by myself.
Oh. Well, can we take a break now and come back?
Yeah, certainly.
Let's do that. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll wind up everything for the day and get with you as far as being set up for tomorrow. We could have done the top 5. But anyway, that's where we are. We'll come back, wrap up the show right after this.
This is about
There
you.
is a special place,
your family,
where innovation and
the
breakthroughs
health of
happen,
all who live in
where
Eastern North
childlike
Carolina.
wonder meets the
This
best
is about
of
the
medicine,
transformation of a health
and where
system into
world-class
something more
children's
powerful
hospital offers
and
hope
more human.
and healing
About
for
creating
Eastern
new
North
ways to
Carolina.
treat disease and
This
keep you well.
is Maynard Children's
This is
Hospital,
about ECU Health,
where some of the
Which is
brightest
to say,
minds and
it's
most
really
caring
all
hearts
about you.
provide the best
ECU
for your child.
Health.
Maynard
Minds,
Children's Hospital,
hearts,
for every child
purpose.
and every family.
You have a choice when
Double
you invest
A
in
Hauling
insurance.
is Eastern
And when you
Carolina's
choose
top
First State
gravel and
Insurance
driveway
Advisors,
company.
you're
If you
working
need
with
gravel
people
for
you
your
can trust.
driveway,
Clark
parking lot,
Stallings
or
has
any
deep
commercial
ties
or
in the
residential
community. His
setting,
team, including
DR Alley
Clayton
Good and
Smith,
Double A
Regina
Hauling get
Asby,
top
Phil
reviews all
Leyva, Max
over
Joyner
Eastern
Jr.,
Carolina.
Max Joyner
Deborah
III, and
O'Neill
Ginger
recently
Smith
had Double
provides
A Hauling do
knowledgeable
work at her
and professional
property.
advice.
It was
First State
great.
Insurance
DR came
Advisors is
out
an
just as he said
independent
he
insurance
would. He
agency. They offer
explained
all types of
everything.
personal
He gave me
insurance as
several
well as
different
various types
options,
for
depending
business.
on what I
Call or
wanted,
email
and
First
the
State
price
Insurance
ranges.
Advisors
They
today. We
recently
want to
came
be
this
your
week. I was
trusted
very
choice
pleased
agency.
with the,
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus
Deborah
Beef,
says she's
bring
glad
you
she
farm
used
to
Double A
fork
Hauling.
beef.
I would highly
Stock your freezers
recommend
now with affordable
using
beef boxes,
Double
just in
A.
time for
They
the grill
came
and
out,
feast.
gave me a
Farm
good
to fork
estimate,
beef
did what they
brings
said they would
quality
do. They
local
were
beef to
efficient
your
when they were
family.
here, very
From your
kind
traditional
and
butcher
courteous
shop,
towards
Acre
me.
Station Meat
Wanted to make
Farm.
sure I was pleased
Come
with
on down
everything
to
when they
Acre Station
completed the
Meat Farm
job,
to
which I
find out
loved.
why
Call
we're
Double
number
A
one
Hauling at
in fresh cuts and friendly service.
252-946-1227 for your gravel and driveway needs. That's 252-946-1227.
Doddridge Gas and Oil has been your
The
dependable
best
propane
burgers
supplier
around.
for 95 years.
Everyone
Their trained
loves
technicians
a
can
thick,
service you
juicy,
properly
and fresh
install all
burger.
your propane and natural
Tiebreakers
gas
does real
appliances.
burgers
Plus,
better than
Doddridge Gas and Oil
anybody.
is your
And don't forget
backyard
about the
expert
cheese
with fire
sticks,
pits,
fresh
grills,
salads,
smokers,
and more. So
including
don't just go
quality
to
outdoor
any
furniture
burger
at their
themed
Greenville
restaurant
Patio and Hot
chain.
Shop at
It's time to
1901
break
Charles
the
Boulevard.
chain
Go
and
by and
eat
see the
local.
knowledgeable staff at Doddridge Gas and Oil.
Tiebreakers,
For
burgers,
propane
and
delivery,
sports
or
at
call
its best.
756-1345.
You hear that? Healthwise Pharmacy
That's the
rounds
sound
bases
of
with all of your
Zero Sugar.
infusion,
The
retail,
better
compounding,
tasting,
and medical
more
equipment
refreshing
needs.
Zero
Locally
Sugar
owned and
Cola.
operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker. Healthwise
Listen
has
to
grown
that
to be your
endless
most
pour.
trusted provider for infusion
Your
services.
refreshment.
Currently providing in-home
If
or
it
on-site
sounds
infusions
this
in North
good,
Carolina, South
just
Carolina,
imagine
and
how it
Virginia.
tastes.
Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South
Oh,
Memorial
yeah.
Drive or
So
call
good.
252-295-0059
Zero
to
Sugar.
speak to a patient
Let your
service
taste
representative to
decide.
find the option that best
Medlin
suits your
Chevrolet
needs.
is your home for next day
In this
service.
age of
Medlin
globalization,
Chevrolet and
we've
Aiken
learned
is
that
family
bigger
owned,
isn't
and the
always
Medlin
better.
Auto Group has been
Ever tried
serving
to get
Eastern
phone help from a
Carolina
big
for over
corporation
58
from a real
years.
person?
Schedule your service
Right.
for next day at
That's
Medlin
what's so
Chevrolet.
nice about Phelps
Also, see
Chevrolet.
Medlin
After
Chevrolet
more
and
than
Aiken
50
for the best
years
selection
serving
of
our
new and
community,
pre-owned cars and
Phelps
trucks.
remains
Medlin
family-owned
Chevrolet
and
has been the home of market-based
Mike,
no-hassle
Daryl,
pricing,
Dave,
so you
Wes,
can shop
Alan, and
online
Clay
and know that you're
deliver
getting a great
hometown
deal
service
every
and
time with no
integrity,
hassle
same as
and no
always.
gimmicks right
They
up
share
front.
your
Medlin
experience,
Chevrolet,
they share
from
your
way service and
and they
sales
are
is
ready
supposed
to
to
help
be.
with
Shop
any
Medley
motoring
Chevrolet
need.
in Haven.
Come get you one.
Okay, couple minutes here. Again, Jonathan Wagner will be with us tomorrow, and we're going to talk baseball, and he'll go over his projected field for on3.com. So that'll be tomorrow. Also, coming up, we'll, as we mentioned, have coverage of ECU taking on Old Dominion. That'll be at Norfolk tomorrow, 6 o'clock first pitch, and we will have an airtime of 5:45. So we'll have a live lead-in tomorrow, shortened show, but Jonathan Wagner will be with us. Coach O and Dylan will be in Norfolk for that non-conference matchup, the midweek game tomorrow. And then back with regular programming, 5 o'clock the rest of the week. I think Friday is a shortened show with a home baseball game, but pretty much going through the rest of the week here. Thanks to Blake Harrell for being with us today. Great job by him. Enjoyed having him on. I think we got a lot of stuff there out and disseminated to the people so they could kind of get an idea of where the team stands coming out of the spring practice session. And as we mentioned, they'll have a couple of OTH style practices this week and some weight room and testing before they head into final week of school and final week of exams, or finals week, I guess, more appropriately. All right, thanks to William Grover for being here today, a.k.a. Billy Gruber, also intern Ryan. Thanks to Blake Harrell. See you in the morning on Talk of the Town with Tom Lamprecht, as Henry is away in Las Vegas this week, and then back here with Jonathan Wagner tomorrow, as we'll be talking Pirate baseball and college baseball with him from On 3. All right, have a great rest of your afternoon and evening, everybody.
Jaggers on Memorial Drive yet? I'm a regular at Jaggers, and let me tell you, if you want fresh, not frozen, you need to come to Jaggers. Burgers, chicken sandwiches, all sorts of salads, and the shoestring fries. Oh, I love those shoestring fries. My favorite is the Berry Fresh Grilled Chicken Salad. One of the best salads I've ever had. My grandkids love the burgers and fries and the chicken tenders with the awesome honey mustard ranch. Everything is fresh at Jaggers. They don't cut any corners. Jaggers on Memorial Drive in Greenville. Also now open in Fayetteville.
Greenville Appliance and Mattress is proud to be Eastern North Carolina's favorite appliance store. From kitchen and laundry appliances to mattresses, bedding, and outdoor furniture, you'll find it all in one place. Our knowledgeable, experienced sales team is here to help you find the right fit for your home. Visit us on Greenville Boulevard or online at greenvilleappliance.com. Greenville Appliance and Mattress. Local, trusted, and here for you since 1952.
Do you need to lose weight, but you want to do it with the safe supervision of a capable doctor? Eastern Physical and Lifestyle Medicine specializes in patient weight loss. Dr. Billy Smith will help you in your weight loss journey. Weight loss does not have to be unaffordable.
Insurance for your business is as complicated as it is important. Being overinsured or underinsured could be an expensive mistake. That's where Flatlands Insurance Group comes in. We help business owners design plans that guard against real-world risk. Our three-step process of analyzing the risk, implementing the solution, and monitoring the results help keep our customers on track year-round. If you want a proactive partner in risk management, give our team a call. Flatlands Insurance Group, your whole world
directly across the street from ECU Medical Center on Stantonsburg Road. For appointments, call 252-215-9294. That's 215-9294. And get on the road to healthier living.
Or enjoy it as an This is Matt Murchison at Greenville Nissan, and April is truck and SUV month, and we're making it easy to upgrade. Right now, get huge savings on rugged Nissan Frontiers and stylish, family-ready Rogues, Pathfinders, Armadas, and Muranos. Plus, take advantage of 0% financing available on select models. Whether you need capability,
Make everyday electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit HealthWise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
This is WRHD, Farmville, Greenville. Powered by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com. That's ritchielaw.com.